Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Now, there's a lot of controversy, concerning the Israelites as a whole, coming from, this thing with IUIC to, people on the street to, Alex Jones or InfoWars and, CNN. And basically what, brothers are seeing now is the starting stages of persecution, and persecution is going to come in more than one ways than one. It's going to come from your family. It's going to come from, mass media, Soon they're going to have us plastered all over the place, and painting us as, villains in the movie, social deviants, deviant from the social construct of this kingdom. And really it's nothing different, It's nothing that hasn't happened before, because they've persecuted, the prophets before us. I got a few examples here, but they persecuted Yahweh Shai, They persecuted everyone and everything that had anything to do with the Most High, because this world is ruled by Satan. So it shouldn't be, so it shouldn't be anything new, but at the same time, we're human, so we still need, motivation, or we still need, to go over these scriptures over and over again so we can, get our minds ready for what's to come, That's exactly what happened to Stephen. They had people debate Stephen first, and when they found out that they couldn't, get a foothold in him, or they couldn't, cast anything he was saying down, they conspired together. They conspired together to put Stephen to death. And that's the same thing they're gonna do with us, because that's really the only thing left. Because they can't dispute with us, they can't prove us wrong about anything. All they can do is spread lies, and eventually what they're gonna do, they're gonna lock us up, and some men are gonna be put to death, There's Acts chapter 6 verse 9. It says, "Then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines, and Cyrenians, and Alexandrians." And if you know anything about the Libertines were a sect, of Libyans around Libya that were liberated from the rule of Pompey. They were part of that faction that was taken in slavery when Pompey had his military campaign and started the Roman Empire. The Libertines are the ones that were liberated. You have the Cyrenians, the ones that dwelt in Cyrene, that were off the coast of Cyrene, that were given liberty by Ptolemy, and then you have the Alexandrians, and the Alexandrians came from Alexandria. They were the ones that studied at the library and picked up all manner of philosophies, and of them of Cilicia and of Asia, disputing with Stephen. And they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake, because the wisdom and the spirit that he spake of was of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. So they couldn't say anything against him, And they were, then they suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High." So what they did is they went and they got men to say things against Stephen, just like men were bearing false witness against Yahweh Shai, And that's what's going to happen. They're going to bear false witness against us, man, And things like what's happening with IUIC, that's bad publicity, That's just another thing that the so-called, that Esau, Edom, the red Hebrew Edomite, as I not the brother Narcan likes to say, that's something that they can dig up and that they can pin on every one of us, just because we have the label Israelites, even though we're not all the same. But Esau is going to paint it like we're all the same, So that's just one thing to bring up against us, It says, Then they suborned men which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High. And they're going to attack the doctrine. They're going to attack this, the scriptures, and our breakdowns and what we've said, and they're going to twist it. And they stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council. So they brought him to in front of a judge, man. They brought him to trial. It says, verse 13, and set up false witnesses, which said, this man ceaseth not to speak blasphemous words against the holy place and the law. So they set up false witnesses, man, to lie, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to hell. To be honest, we're going to be convicted before we even get to a trial. If we are lucky enough to see a judge and then get a trial, we're going to be convicted on social media and national TV. They're going to make documentaries about us. They're going to throw us all over the news. As a matter of fact, speaking of documentaries being made about us, let's see. What was it? Here is it. Let's see. There's a documentary that aired, I believe it was yesterday, and it was on Yahweh Ben Yahweh. I don't know if, hopefully they haven't pulled it off yet. There we go. So this came out yesterday. Now there's no coincidence that this is coming out, a couple of weeks after or a month after the so-called, the thing that happened with IUIC. But the thing is that they brought up this documentary about a 1986 Israelite group called the Nation of Yahweh that were, murdering people and cutting off, victims' ears and things like that. And it aired on Oxygen. Now, these were, the so-called extremists, or the black identity extremists that were committing violent acts, But the thing is, they can connect. What they're going to do is, I wouldn't be surprised if they connected us with this, This is the type of thing that, that they're going to do. And they might switch Yahweh Ben Yahweh for the actual name of the Lord, man. And they're saying things like, Death Angel and, Enforcer and things like that. We say things like Death Angels, So this is another thing that they can throw at us, to falsely accuse us, man. But this is back in Acts chapter 6. It says, and they stirred up the people, and the elders and the scribes and came upon him and caught him and brought him to council, and set up false witnesses, which said, this man ceaseth not to speak blasphemous words against his holy place and the law. For we have heard him say that this Yahushua of Nazareth shall destroy this place, and shall change the customs which Moses delivered us. Because they didn't understand what was being taught at the time. Just like now, they don't understand what we're saying. All they know is that what we're saying is against this current society. It says, and all that sat in the council looked steadfastly on him, saw his face as it had been the face of an angel. And the reason why they saw his face as the face of an angel, because the wisdom and knowledge and the spirit that was on him made his face to shine, man. Like the scriptures say, wisdom maketh a man's face to shine, Yahweh Shai had the appearance of lightning, you know. So that's why, Stephen's countenance looked like that. But not only, well, let's see where these false witnesses are gonna come from, because not just gonna be from people on the streets, not gonna be from, Joe or Bob, your next door neighbor. It's gonna be from your own family, man. Let me blow this up really quick. So Matthew 10:35 says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." And the reason being, because the Spirit is going to divide them, because they're going to believe in different things, man. The father's going to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The mother's going to believe in black consciousness. The son's going to believe in being a Muslim. Going to believe in Islam. The daughter's going to believe in Christianity. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. So you're going to have people in your own household, your own family members and friends that are going to come against you, man, because your outlook is on life is different than theirs. Your outlook on life is righteous, and theirs is wicked, man. So they're naturally going to come against you. So don't think it's strange when, your girlfriend or your wife just pops up. Yeah, I heard him say that multiple times, in front of the police or something. It says, "He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me." And the reason why the Lord is bringing that up is because when we get accused to, the juries and the judges, and we're facing a death penalty, or we're facing, life in prison or concentration camps and guillotines and things like that, you got guys that'll denounce the Lord just for respect of persons, or I want to be with my mother, I want to be with my wife or my son, or I don't want them to hate me anymore, things like that, And if you fold, man, you're not worthy of the Lord. It says, "And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me." And that's going to be our cross, man. That humiliation, that turmoil, that torture. These are things that we have to go through that are necessary for us to reach the kingdom of the Most High, man, the kingdom of heaven. So we're gonna go through a lot of persecution, man, and a lot of it's not gonna be pretty, man. But one thing you got to know is that they don't hate us. They hate Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They hate the Spirit. They hate the Bible. They hate the commandments. They hate the righteousness. They hate the light. And we represent that light. This is John 15:18. It says, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own." And that's a true statement, man. If we're around here popping mollies and talking about committing adultery and out here selling drugs and getting money and things like that is not productive, that doesn't matter, in the grand scheme of the universe, then they would love us for it, man. Because we're nothing but following in bullshit, man. But because we are laboring in the spirit, in the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, they hate us, and they hate what we are about. It says, "But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." Because we're different, man. We're the light and they're the darkness. When a person is asleep and you come in the bedroom, you turn on the light, the first thing they say is, "Hey, turn off the light," And that's what we are. We're the lights that walk through these dark houses, man. And they're like, "Hey, turn off the light," And eventually they're gonna wake up and try to do anything to silence that light, man. To turn off the light so they can go right back to sleep. And that's exactly what's going to happen. What's going to happen, man? They're going to try to vanquish the light. It says, "Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also." And everything's going to happen again back in the reincarnation, man. The ones that hated the Lord is going to hate us because we represent the Lord, And the ones that rocked with the Lord, the ones that were down for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and and believed in him, they're gonna believe in us as well, man. It says, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. So they don't know the Lord. They think they know the Lord, especially Jake. Jake has a zeal, but not according to knowledge. And that zeal is going to be the driving force that's going to condemn them and have them put to death, man. Because they're going to use that zeal as an excuse to persecute us. It says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. So everything that they're going to do, they're going to answer for it. So brothers, know that in the back of your mind. This is Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of those things thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall shall cast some of you into prison. So don't fear, because we know the latter end. That all these people are going to get, that payback is coming for them, man. And we're going to be cast in the prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which is a complete amount of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So we have to be faithful unto death. So even if you're staring death in the face, man, whether you are delivered from that death or not, you still keep your faith in the Lord, man. When we go through certain things in tribulation, and we go through hell and we get persecuted, and we don't get delivered out of certain situations, it's because it's to test us, man. That doesn't mean throw in the towel and lose faith, and lose patience, because the scriptures say, woe unto you that have lost patience, So we have to be faithful unto death, no matter if we get delivered or not. It says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. The camps, since now, people just saying camps are wicked. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. So we overcome this present world, we won't get hit with those missiles, man. And we'll reap salvation. Because there's a lot of things that are going to happen. They're going to deliver us unto death. You got some people that are going to try and kill us themselves, because they think that they're doing the will of the Lord. They'll think that we're heathen, or they think that we're of Satan, things like that, This is John 16:1. It says, these things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service. So they're going to think that they're doing the work of the Lord, from whatever they do to us, man. That's their vain delusion, It says, and these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father, nor me. It says, yeah, they don't know the Father, like I said, earlier. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. They think they know the Father, and because of that, we're going to be persecuted, But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember what I told you of them. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you. So then you're going to remember, like, oh, they're going to get put to death anyway. You're going to look at the Edomites as they're, probably as they're torturing you, and you're going to smile, man. Like, y'all about to be tortured for 1,000 years, Edom is going down, And you know the latter end, man. We know what's in store for these people in this world, So really, and think about it, there's nothing to be depressed about, So when these things start happening, we are supposed to rejoice, man. That means we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So with that, that's all I had to say. I want to give all praises. Call halal yam Yahweh ba'Hashem Yahushai ba'Hashem Rachakadash. Double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.